Namaste, well raised, Sabina and Roger here. Let's learn more about Lord Jesus Christ and what happened when Sri Ramakrishna studied the life of Jesus Christ. A video by Hindu Academy.
Yeah, awesome. So I might know this story. I gotta confess, because I've been spiritual for quite some time now and I've read a lot of stuff. And I remember Sri Ramakrishna, so no spoilers for Sabine, but he did, well, maybe I shouldn't say it. You don't want to spoil it for you, right?
No, please don't.
Okay. But anyways, I might know. Just say it. No big deal.
If you love Sri Ramakrishna, if you love Jesus Christ, leave a like, subscribe if you aren't. And get into the receptive mode.
Yes, and if you remember, leave some Jesus emojis down there, because he's one of our emojis, because he is a divine expression of the truth. No matter what has been done after he preached the truth, he's not to blame. So we can respect and honor Jesus Christ.
Merry Christmas.
The story doesn't stop there. I told you, he's here to reconcile vast number of different approaches in spirituality. In no time, in a short time, he comes across another person who is saying, Shambhu Malik. He says, I'd like to study the Bible. So Ramakrishna says, fine, I want to learn about Christ and these Christian people. So he would visit his house, and that gentleman, Shambhu Malik, would read through the story of Bible. And Ramakrishna, even though he disliked the word sin, is quite offended by the word sin, just sits through and listens to this story of the Bible, listens. Again in 3 days, this thing like magic happens in his life. 3 days is the magic time. While he's sitting in one of these devotees' house, there is an image of baby Christ with Madonna on the wall, and he's staring at it, and that image seems to have come alive, and from it he sees rays entering his body, entering his system. He feels very charged up. Very unusual experience. For these 3 days, again, he doesn't visit the temple, doesn't look at the Hindu deities, completely ignores them. On the third day, when he's walking in the little forest on the north of the temple, while he's sitting there, he suddenly sees a person walking towards him. And he says, this is strange, who is this foreigner coming towards me? As he comes closer, his heart springs into joy. He said, I know who is this. And this is the man who gave his life for the welfare of humanity, who sacrificed his life for the welfare of humanity. This is Jesus. He said, And as he said that man came very close to him, embraced and disappeared into him, inside him.
What?
If I tell the story to Christians, they will be very worried. So this means that Christ is contained in Ramakrishna. But I've done this story. He enters his body and disappears into him. The same happened every time he had any spiritual experience within the Hindu tradition, whether he saw Ram or he saw Krishna, these personalities would come and enter his system. And this happened. And there's something very unusual about this story. I'll tell you why. Somebody was doing research whether Jesus is a historic figure or a made up figure, because there is an argument going on in the theological circles that Jesus is possibly not a real character, but made up. There is a real debate going on. Now see, those people approached me, I'm telling you. We like the story of Ramakrishna because he validates Jesus. He says there was a person called Jesus. Do you know to what extent he validates Jesus? He said, I can describe Jesus, but Jesus, he was a Jew, and the Jews have a kind of nose which is kind of bent like that, like in the eagle's beak. But I can tell you, this Jesus I saw had a stubby nose. But he was handsome, he said. He didn't look ugly. But he had a stubby nose, not a pointed nose like this. And you see, he's describing Jesus. And there is no historic record. But the various versions of Christianity, one version talks of Jesus not with a kind of Jewish nose, but with a flat nose. I'm just telling you what has been recorded. Take it as you like. So in one life we see a variety of different approaches visible in the story of one life. Now you see.
Very fascinating. It actually was not the story that I had heard and read about. So
tell me about it.
So that's fascinating. So the one, I guess, when I was thinking about it, it's very vague, like my reference and what I heard about, but I do know just through my study that Ramakrishna, he studied the various other religions, right? And then he declared and proclaimed that God can be found through any of these other faiths, and Christianity and Islam in particular. And let's just cut through the chase of the institutional religion. So that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about the devotion and the teachings that the Prophet Muhammad and Jesus Christ would have been teaching. And that's also a gray area. So then when I'm talking about that, I'm only talking about devotion, to God and to truth. And that's it. You can kind of forget the others, because that's what he would have been focused on, right? So then he experienced the divine within him, and then he declared that there's many ways and paths to the truth. So I didn't hear this one about him walking on the street after contemplating, but you can see that too as a kind of a form of rupjan, where you're focused on a deity and being open and receptive to that level of consciousness. And there's no doubt that Jesus Christ was a highly attained spiritual master, fully awakened and realized. So when he's focusing on the baby Jesus picture, and then he gets the that divinity coming through, because we're just reading Yogananda right now, and then the same thing happened there with being in contact with his guru, and then stating that he always had the picture with him and took it around, and it was like a living embodiment of the guru, right? So just getting those blessings and being open to that. And then he's walking on the street, and then Jesus appears, and then,
it doesn't surprise me.
and then enters into him. And then when him stating that the Christians wouldn't be too happy about that, well, we got to keep in mind that it doesn't limit Jesus in any way. And then to say that, Jesus is only in Ramakrishna now.
Oh, yeah.
No. Well, Christians might misinterpret that, right? Because they really, some people equate, a being with their physical form, and then they don't realize that there can be many, because it's spirit, right? So the infinite field of consciousness, can manifest in, many forms, right? So Jesus could enter many beings, right? And then so Ram and Krishna also entered him. That would have been some divine experiences, right? So absolutely possible. Why not? As spiritual seekers, we need to open our minds and our hearts and be like, and we don't even have to cut through and say, ooh, I believe this and I don't believe that. No, it's about hearing things and stating that, ooh, I've heard about that, right? So then we don't become rigid in our structured beliefs. We're just open to really cool things. And also to be open to, stuff like that, and even miracles. It also opens the possibility for miracles and divine things to happen in our lives. Not to say that they'll happen in this lifetime, but we're opening up to infinite possibilities, and even in future lifetimes, because we're understanding that the whole universe is one gigantic miracle, right? How do we even exist? How does this universe exist? It's absolutely mind-blowing, and that's the point. We need to blow our minds.
Blow it.
So, this is an interesting little discussion. Just talking about Ramakrishna and how he was open to the truth of Jesus. And then,
Let us know if you had any such experiences where literally they appeared. Right?
Where divinity
appeared.
Yes. But I'm not going to talk about it.
And for me, I don't think so.
Well, when you got into, there could be like non-physical, like it doesn't have to be a deity manifesting, but it could be, something within. You have entered into the bliss states.
Yeah, but here we're talking about literally appearing.
Oh, literally appearing.
Like literally, like what you experience when you had this one experience. Something was you were in the waking state, and something unusual happened. And that I can't say I have. Of course, in dreams, deities appear and things. Not deities. Yeah, well, holy beings, teachers, masters.
Oh yes, you have many
appear.
auspicious dreams.
Yes, but in the dream state.
Yeah.
Not here. We're talking about the waking state. And that nothing happened. Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty cool. But let's broaden the question. Have you guys had any really awesomely cool, auspicious dreams? Deities, because even deities appearing in dreams.
Yeah, of course, beautiful.
That's amazing, right? The best days are when Sabina wakes up and she tells me about her really amazing dreams.
Yeah, well, lately not so much. But the other day, I'm not sure if I told you about it, a huge, beautiful Shiva Linga was in my dream. Yes.
No way.
Yes.
Like from Bahubali size or bigger?
Yeah, about that. Maybe a little small. Maybe actually the same size. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah, and other deities, but I don't remember. I just know there was a massive. It was almost like a bath. Like a really posh, huge. It was huge, like a house.
Cool.
There was a bath, and there was a Shiva Linga and other deities.
And did you pick it up and carry it to a waterfall?
I didn't, no.
Too bad.
Not quite there yet. But maybe I didn't even make an offering to it. So hopefully my next dream when a shivling appears that, I'm actually also pour water.
Just don't touch it.
No, I don't.
Awesome. Very fun discussion. So yeah, let us know about your dreams and what you think about this video. Hindu Academy, make sure you subscribe and go hit the like button on some of his videos, because if you don't support Sanatan Dharma, who will? Right? We got to support these channels. So thank you so much for joining us. And raise yourself.
And raise the world. We love you. Merry Christmas.
Peace.